actors playing most of the main characters were not extremely well-known people. They were all really good actors, but none of them were like big stars. If you see a big star, it sort of blows the whole verisimilitude of the film.
The lead of the movie is Kate Hodge.
Pretty goddamn good, you backwoods motherfucker.
The thing about a scream queen is that you want someone who will not get on your nerves. You don't want to say, I want her to go. So you really have to find someone who is sympathetic. She was constantly covered in sticky blood. She was chained up, nailed up, had nails in her hands. Any way to abuse her, she was abused.
I spent a great deal of my acting career getting killed. I was killed by Jason Voorhees. I was killed by Freddy Krueger and killed by Leatherface. I was killed by all of them, except for Michael Myers. I never ran into him.
Gotta fry that sucker if they find him.
I look good crying and running. Or holding a crowbar saying, if I don't come back in 10 minutes, climb out the window and run as fast as you can.
Just drive! Ken Foray, I wanted to put in the movie because I was a big fan of Dawn of the Dead.
How many?
We don't know. 2, maybe more.
He had a nice genre identification, and also he was just physically perfect for it.
Sounds like he just a few quarts shy of a full tank, you know what I mean? They were their own terribly dysfunctional, neurotic, crazy, messed up family.
We knows what to do with them parts.
People who murder people, chop them up with sharp things, occasionally consume bits and pieces of them.
What we need now is a good mess of greens.
They're like a sort of a homicidal SWAT team.
You had this whole family doing what they consider very normal things, and it's just truly horrifying.
Societal, sexual norms don't exist.
Wackos. They were all tied together by the Joe Unger character, the Tinker.
If anyone was the brains behind the operation, it probably would have been him.
Technology is our friend.
Well, the character of Alfredo was played by Tom Everett.
Hating is happening,
He's kind of peripheral to the family, but integral to the family.
He cleans and he does housework.
He's basically kind of like a distant early warning system for him.
I'm gonna service you real good, man.
Get that thing off my cutting board. The character of Mama was played by Miriam Byrd Nethery in the movie. She passed away this summer. Terrific lady, and I really miss her.
The little girl, I think she was supposed to be Leatherface's daughter.
You have the question of where the hell did she come from? She was played by Jennifer Banco, who had been in Friday the 13th 7. I think she was only 10. Basically, she could not get into the movie that she's acting in. So you worry that she's going to be scarred for life or, by some of the stuff she saw on the set.
If you don't poke them, then they don't leave.
By now, Grandpa, for us, is mummified, but we still revere him.
The patriarch who's on his way out.
I don't know who kept him or how he got there. He was just kind of a sight gag, nodding back toward the early movies again. Yeah, Grandpa's still around. He's dead, but he's still around. Well, Leatherface is this sort of whacked out character who's really being controlled by his family.
Somebody's escaped, go out and get him. He's really the enforcer.
Leatherface is a child.
It is.
All children have the empowerment fantasy, and if you look at Leatherface as a child, then that is the only place where he is strong is where he picks up his equipment.
He was kind of childlike in the first movie. In this movie, he's kind of a rebellious teenager type. I had a guy in mind that I wanted to bring in, a guy known as R.A. Mihailoff, who had been an actor in my student film, and he was just perfect for it in terms of just the physicality of it, and he loves horror films.
Look at these cannons, my man.
What?
It's very easy to create the character when you have the mask and the costume and the chainsaw in your hand, and your hands are covered with blood. That goes a long, long way. It pretty much takes on an organic life of its own. It doesn't need a lot of introspection.
I wish you'd call me Ted.